What's up guys, it's Paxi. In today's video are you guys the best GRU 556 class setup after the latest update in Modern Warfare. So let's get into the class setup. What's up guys, so this is the class setup. So for the muzzle we've got the monolithic suppressor for sound suppression and damage range, the only muzzle that I use basically with this weapon. Then for the second attachment we've got the FSS 20.8 Nexus barrel. It has pretty much the same on the other barrels, but in my opinion this just makes the iron sights so much better in my opinion, and to be honest it gives you more accuracy in my opinion, just how the iron sights look. Then for the underbarrel we got the commando foregrip, very decent. If you are playing Warzone, change it to range of foregrip, you'll definitely know when you do use it. Then for the ammunition we got the 50 round mags, and for multiplayer then 60 round mags for Warzone. For the rear grip we've got the XRK Void 2, aim down start speed and sprint to fire speed. Pretty much you just need this just for the mobility to get up a bit more, to be faster with the weapon. Then for the secondary we've got the Renetti Kimbos, very good secondary to use. For perk 1 we use EOD to suck and reduce damage from equipment most of the time. They're very good for Warzone and on multiplayer. Perk 2 I use restock, but for me for Warzone use overkill and put like a sniper on. That's what I would do. For perk 3 I use shrapnel just so I can have an extra piece of equipment, very handy for multiplayer. But if you are playing Warzone, use the amped perk. Then for the lethal I always run a C4, a proximity mine or a claymore. Then for the tactical I use a stim, or you can use a heartbeat sensor. So that's the class setup for the GRU. Let's get into some tips and tricks on how to dominate your multiplayer lobbies and your Warzone lobbies, how to win more gunfights with the weapon. So let's get into the tips. So for the first tip that I'm going to give you guys is that the weapon is pretty much can do anything at close, medium and even long range, because the weapon doesn't have that much recoil and any kick at longer ranges, at medium ranges. It's easy to get people of head glitches, people from corners in the window, stuff like that. Also Warzone is very good for this class. You can beam people literally like so many yards away, so many miles. Basically like a sniper basically, if you are running the right attachments. And for the second is that the accuracy, probably the best accuracy weapon in Modern Warfare by far. It's literally just beams people. You know, you can be a casual player, you can be an average player, you can be even a below average player, and you'll be still able to get easy kills with the weapon. That's why I think most players do play with this weapon, is because it's not really that much of a skill gap with this weapon. You know, it has no recoil, the damage is very high as well because of the TTK in this game is very high, but it's still a very decent gun in my opinion. And the third is that it's easy to hit your targets so much for between head glitches, windows, campers, stuff like that. This is a very good class up for ground war, so if you are looking for a good class up for ground war to do, you know, rush in, just staying at one spot and just holding it down, then this class is for you. For the mobility, even with the cons, it's still very good. You know, for Warzone the mobility is not very, you know, not really that needed at most of the time, because you're also going to be at, you know, longer ranges, and you know you can, but by then you should be able to just pre-aim it anyway. So the mobility is still good, you know, because the rear grip, definitely a decent attachment to put on it for multiplayer, because multiplayer is mostly just more I guess control based, and you know, if you are playing hardcore, then you know mobility is probably the first thing that you do care about, because you know first person you shoot should kill them first, but not in this game. It's a bit trash. But the fifth attachment is that is the 50 round mags. Is probably the most underrated, or the 60 round mags is probably the most underrated ammunition type with this weapon, because you can literally don't have to reload. This weapon is like a 4-shot to like a 3 or 4-shot weapon, so you don't really need to even like reload after like a few kills. So this gun is very good at damage, you know, as you can see, very easy to pick up players. Then for the 7th tip, or I think it's the 6th tip, is that If you're using lethals, use your claymores, use your proto-mix stimulants if you're holding down a spawn or a certain bit of the map. If you're using a tactical I just please use a stim if you are rushing, because this will actually help you out so much as well. If you're using on Warzone, make sure to put the heartbeat sensor on just so you know where the people are. For the lethal for Warzone, use a C4. In my opinion, probably the best lethal to use, because it can blow up quad bikes, you know, stuff like that. So this gun has basically no recoil, has fantastic accuracy, the best gun in the game by far. Definitely better than the M4, just because of the recoil type. You know, there's basically no sway on the kick either, and also the flinch is very good even without the flinch perk, so it's very good. So hope you guys do enjoy the tips and tricks on how to dominate your Warzone and multiplayer lobbies in Modern Warfare after the latest update with this weapon. Hope you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications so you never miss an upload. Also comment down below if you're having troubles with any class setups, let me know in the comments. Also follow me on Twitter, Twitch and TikTok, it's down in the description below. Also use code PAXI for sponsors in the description. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and peace out.